This video is gonna be rather personal to me, so let me tell you a story. But I promise you that this is indeed still a review of the Cidoo V87 Pro keyboard. So over about a year ago, I was looking for a keyboard that suits my list of criteria. I wanted 6 things in particular. Number 1, a TKL layout because I can't use anything smaller or larger. Number 2, hot swappable switches, but nearly all modern keyboards nowadays can do that. Number 3 is a 2.4 GHz wireless dongle because of the convenience, and I am using a KVM monitor, so if I want to switch between my PC and my Mac, then having a 2.4 GHz dongle is just better, and it is also more superior to Bluetooth. Number 4 is programmability using the VIA software because it's just more powerful and it's just better than any companion software that comes with other keyboards. Number 5 is having a knob because to me it is not really that important, but it is a nice to have feature. Still, having a knob to just change your volume is always more convenient than spamming some buttons or shortcuts just to lower or maximize your volume. Number 6 is a lower inclination of the keyboard because that's just how I like it. Now, I did a bit of searching and eventually I did find my perfect match last year, and that is the Cidoo V87 keyboard, this one in particular. I didn't pull the trigger back then because I was huffing copious amount of copium thinking that I didn't need it and it would be a waste for me. I also tried searching for some alternatives and asking around on Reddit, but there was no other keyboard that fits all of the above criteria. Yeah, the Cidoo V87 is just that unique. It's the only one keyboard that meets all of the 6 criteria that I have listed above. Eventually, we just asked EpoMaker if they could send over the Cidoo V87 and they actually agreed and graciously sent it to us. And here it is, the Cidoo V87 Pro. Actually, I have no idea where the word Pro came from because it's not on their website at all. And even though EpoMaker did send us this keyboard, they are not in control of what we are going to say and show in this video. But I am still going to tell you why this keyboard is amazing anyway. So when I unbox this keyboard, it's actually quite underwhelming. So let me just show you right here. Of course, we have the keyboard itself. In this compartment here, what we have is just a few simple accessories. So you have this gamepad key controller. Yeah, it's supposed to be for your escape key because currently it's just using a basic escape. And then this combo tool right here, a hex key to open up the keyboard if you want to. And then in this compartment box, what we have is the USB-C cable. That's it. It's a nice braided cable, but yeah, it's pretty basic anyway. I did expect some extra gasket mounts or rubber feet in the package, but no, we don't have any of them here. The keyboard itself is only available in beige color with some red color accent keycaps. The design in itself is very simple and I actually like it that way. The only extra part here is this line, which is actually an RGB strip if we turn it on. So as we can see here, this is the RGB strip. We can control it using some of these buttons here. But it is completely independent from any other RGB lighting on the keyboard. We can turn off all RGB, which also turns off this logo part here. But if we just turn down the typing zones RGB, then once again this LED strip on this side here above the arrow keys will not be affected. The Thundercats logo that is located right around the arrow keys is where the 2.4 GHz dongle is located. And I really like this design because it's not exactly minimalist, but it's a good location to hide the dongle there. The USB-C port is located on the left side here, and that is also where the 3-way switch between the 2.4 GHz mode, wired mode, and Bluetooth mode is located. The included keycaps are dice-up PBT and they are a bit rough to the touch, which is actually what I like. Some people might complain that the south-facing RGB lights on this keyboard wouldn't shine through, but I turn off the RGB anyway because I want maximum battery life. The keyboard is also only available in one switch option, the matte linear switch. Yeah, there's no special name for this switch, but out of the box, it sounds very marbly. Have a listen here. Honestly, I like my keyboard silent, so this switch is going out. The Cidoo V87 uses 5-pin switch slots, which I'm gonna swap with the EpoMaker C-Sort silent switch because, yeah, I just got that from another keyboard and I like that switch a lot. I didn't change anything else as the keyboard is already good enough. It's not exactly the most silent keyboard ever, but it is actually very comfortable to type on. Still, I opened it up to check what's inside this keyboard. Here, I found out that it is using a flex-cut PC plate, gasket mounts all around the perimeter of the plate, one layer of foam here, and then another layer of foam on the PCB, and another layer of foam sandwiched between the plate and the PCB. Thanks to all of these shock absorbers, it's no surprise that this keyboard works great with silent switches out of the box. It is also using standard screw-in stabilizers, so that's good if we want to do some upgrades to it. But enough about that. What about the software? That's where I had my first weird issue with the Cidoo V87. You see, to use VIA, we have to download the JSON file from their website, and it is not available on EpoMaker's website, but it is on Cidoo Tech. Then it told me to update the firmware before I can start using macros. That's kind of weird, but after fumbling for some time, somehow I just managed to make it work without any firmware updates necessary. The macros behave in a rather funky way because it requires extra repeated keys to make it work the same way as other keyboards, but otherwise that is fine. The lighting mode is also rather funky because they have two different lighting options within the VIA option menu. Yeah. I have also swapped the FN key and the menu key in VIA because that's just how my muscle memory works, and I need to change the keycap locations as well. And that is just one of the reasons why I personally prefer VIA over any other software for their keyboard customizations. Yet, everything works so well with the Cidoo V87 keyboard. It takes all of the 6 items on my checklist, and the inclination angle on this keyboard is also rather low because I do use my keyboards with a wrist rest, and that just feels very good to type on. Seriously, this keyboard means business. I have high hopes for this keyboard, and it still pretty much met all of my expectations and managed to surpass it in some ways. For the price of $149 US, it is actually rather affordable. No, actually, if you have a weird keyboard requirement list like I do, then yeah, the Cidoo V87 is the only keyboard that satisfies all your needs. This is the absolute perfect keyboard for my specific use case. And that's all that we have to share with you about this keyboard. If you have any other questions about the Cidoo V87, Pro keyboard. Once again, I still don't know where the Pro comes from. Then do let us know down in the comment section below, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Finally, I can call this my endgame keyboard, at least for the foreseeable future.